All right, Shalom. I want to first start off giving our praises and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahawashi. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to all you brothers across the four corners of the earth that's pushing this truth and faith and sincerity, who potentially are of the elect. And, I'm the brother of Badia.
Yadaka.
Yagadal Aman.
We paid a visit to this brother, and through the Spirit, we just want to do a quick lesson, if the Lord will. And we're going to go into some verses in Philippians, the 3rd chapter, and pretty much just go with the Spirit. But the essence of the lesson is basically, you got to kill the old man and be renewed or born again in this truth, man.
That's right.
So whatever status that you come from or you came from in the world, that man got to completely be diminished, and you shouldn't have a problem with losing that who you were to gain the kingdom, to gain this knowledge,
That's right.
So y'all got any scriptures y'all want to start with? If not, go ahead, bro.
I do. I got a quick one. This is St. John chapter 3. St. John chapter 3, I'll just start at verse 1. This is an account of the Lord going to a Pharisee, Nicodemus. It says, there was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews. The same came to Yahawashi by night and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher come from the Most High, for no man can do these miracles that thou doest, except the Most High be with him. Yahawashi answered and said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of the Most High. And it says,
right.
You got it?
No, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I'm going to just finish it. It says, Nicodemus said unto him, how can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter the second time into his mother's womb and be born?
Hey, can I say something real quick, man?
Kind of.
That's the reaction you get out of these wicked niggas today, man. When we go into the scriptures and break things down, they get simple, man. And that's what's happening in this account, man.
Yeah, and it also shows that the Most High did not set everybody up to get this truth.
Exactly.
The scriptures speak about how the Most High have not revealed this unto the prudent and to the wise. I believe that's in 1 Corinthians. We ain't got to get it, but so the Most High ain't. Oh, Peter and the apostles, I believe it was Peter and John. Mm-hmm. They was considered the wicked scribes and Pharisees. Said that these are unlearned men, because they didn't come up the formal way through any so for lack of better words, institution of learning.
They didn't have any letters. Yeah.
Right. Come.
But basically, what you're going into is basically like when you come into the faith, man. Whatever wisdom or a stature or esteem that you had in the world, man. Basically, when you come into the faith, you start over. You're on ground zero in Yahawashi. Yep. You basically got to cast those things away. You have to wash all that knowledge out of your mind to be able to fully embrace and grow under the tutelage of Yahawashi.
Yes, sir.
But this is verse 4. It says, verse 5, it says, Yahawashi answered, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born of water and of the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of the Most High.
Right. So the water is the scriptures,
Mm-hmm.
and so is the Spirit.
That's right.
The spirit of understanding.
That's right.
You got what you got?
Hold on, 6.
Get that scripture in Ephesians where it say by the washing of the word, washing by the water of the word. Ephesians, forget where it said. I'll find it real quick.
Yeah, and while y'all looking for it, ultimately we know that the word is Yahawashi.
I got it.
You know what I'm saying? So the only way a man can be born again is by accepting Yahawashi. Yahawashi has to sup with you. You know what I'm saying? To gain the understanding and get the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah, bring it out.
This is Ephesians chapter 5 and 26. That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word.
Right, just showing that the water represents these scriptures, man. Mm-hmm. That's a true baptism, because they got in these in these harlot houses, which is your churches, your different denominations, they'll tell you to get baptized once you come out of that water, whether it's tap water, whatever water they use. Once you come up out of that, yeah, you born again. All of a sudden, because you didn't come and rose up out that water, now you're born again. They don't understand what that means, man. Like the brother was explaining, that's going into you becoming a brand new man, but you starting off as a baby, and you have to grow up into manhood.
Yep. That's right.
So all the former knowledge that you had, you got to cast that all the way off, man.
Perfect. That's right.
Because you try to mix that in with the truth, it ain't gonna work, man.
That's right.
You can't mix. The scriptures say none shall want unmake.
Mm-hmm.
You can't mix the truth with no other philosophy, man. And being in the world, no matter what faction of society you come from, that's a philosophy, man.
That's right.
Yep.
Well, you go ahead, man.
Yeah, just real quick, man, because your whole world, however old you might be, whatever age you at, man, that whole time period that you've been on this earth, you've been building as a carnal man. So you have to put that carnal man to death,
Right.
and start from a babe and build up as a spiritual man. That's what, like the brother said, if you trying to keep anything of that carnal nature alive, and it's gonna overweigh your righteousness in the spirit, man.
That's right.
Because eventually that you just holding on to little ways, the Most High gonna let it manifest and take over after a while.
Yep. And if you're not a man of the Lord, the Most High will take the spirit from you, man.
That's right.
He done showed many examples of doing so. So mainly, we're young brothers in the faith, but for like the brothers that have just come in, maybe 6 months, a year, 2 years, this is mainly, for the newer brothers, but we're new brothers ourselves. We're novice in the faith.
Okay.
So everything we done done prior to the time we in, today, if we don't continue in it, it's all for naught.
That's right, brother.
That's on my favorite.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Titus
Yeah,
chapter 3,
bro.
Titus 3 and 5. Not by works of righteousness which we have done, but according to mercy he have but according to his mercy he saved us. And just real quick, man, because what righteousness is that we doing the work, man? I mean, in the world, but the Most High then chose us and woke us up to the truth, man, so we could start striving to salvation, man. Basically making up for all the time lost that we was in the world, man. We didn't have no righteous works in our past lives, but in this time, man, we all out wicked, man. Like the brother said, no matter what faction of life you came from, you was indulging in wickedness and pursuing a carnal life in America, man. But
and for other brothers, it just depends on the portion of faith the Most High gave you. Sometimes a brother that shit could be hard, But if you're a man of the Lord, you'll persevere through it and get this word, man, and grow. I mean, it's a lot of brothers, like a lot of niggas scoff against Great Millstone. Y'all don't have no clue of the different brothers' spirit, man, and what, brothers had opportunities, could have really been off deep into the world, making money, or had fame, or in their own bugged out ass mind thought they was doing something. Because Jake thought they was doing something in the world, man. I mean, everybody, all of us in the world, you thought you had your shit together. You know exactly what was gonna happen, and you didn't know a goddamn thing, man.
That's right, bro.
You come to find out you didn't know shit.
That's right.
And the same things we sacrificed and gave up for the sake of this word, niggas is using the word to seek the things that we gave up and, man, got away from, man.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna finish reading. This is Titus 3 and 5. It says, not by works of righteousness which we have done, but according to his mercy he saved us by the washing of regeneration and renewing of the Holy Ghost. And that's the whole thing, man. If the Most High sets you to be truly renewed in the spirit, it's not gonna happen, man. You're not gonna do this all of a sudden like IUIC claim you just keep the little wear fringes, border of blue, grow a beard, and you good to go, man. No, that's not gonna cut it, man. The Most High got to put the Spirit on you, and if the Most High put the Spirit on you, you're going to be under the correct doctrine. You're going to be occupied in prophecy. You're going to be doing what the men of old was doing, man.
Right.
Why? Because those men are back today.
Okay.
Yep. It's a gift. The Most High, if He don't give you, if Yahawashi don't give you the gift of, grace and faith, then, can't do nothing for you, man. You can't do nothing for yourself. That's all right. Let's hit Philippians. So we're gonna try to. We didn't intend to make this long, but of course, the Spirit dictates,
Brother.
what's gonna happen. So Lord willing, we'll try to wrap it up with. We'll start at Philippians 3. Started the third verse.
This is Philippians 3:3. It says, "For we are the circumcision which worship the Most High in the Spirit."
Right. So Paul right here, the circumcision in that time is representing the Israelites that knew that they were Israelites, that was raised up in the custom, the law, statutes, and commandments, and before Yahawashi, really started, the ministry. They believed that they could obtain the promise through the law, through keeping of the law, So Paul speaking, he said, we are the circumcision. So these are Israelites in the church of Philippi that knew they were Israelites, But go ahead, brother.
It says, "And rejoice in Yahawashi HaMashiach, and have no confidence in the flesh."
So it says the ones of the circumcision that believe in Yahawashi Mashiach, that have no confidence in the flesh. And so go ahead, brother.
Brother. It says,
if y'all got something you want to bring up.
Nah, but it says have no confidence in the flesh, because Paul even said, I believe in Romans the 7th chapter, he said the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Right.
So they was in the right spirit, But I'm gonna just read on. It says, "Though I might also have confidence in the flesh, if any other man thinketh that he hath whereof he might trust in the flesh, I more."
So what Paul is going into is that if anybody want to really talk about their status that they had, and Jake wasn't, you had wicked Jakes back then, but, Jake is wickeder than ever in these days, man. And Paul is saying, if you think that, you had a status greater than mine, you didn't. And he going to go through the, pretty much, I use the phrase, for lack of better words, his credentials, He going to let you know his credibility to back up why he's saying, Paul even said it in another letter. I forget where it's at, but he said he can. If you want to boast, I can boast. I can boast bigger than y'all, basically.
That's right.
Because Paul knew what he knew: Greek, Latin, Hebrew. He was a concerned in the law, Pharisee,
yep.
Which is gonna go into. So go ahead,
brother. It says, verse 5. "Circumcised the 8th day, of the stock of Israel, of the tribe of Benjamin, and Hebrew of the Hebrews, as touching the law, of Pharisee."
Right. So back in those days, we had the records. These Kemet niggas, where's the records? Give us dates. Well, at one point in time, we had the records and the dates, but now this whole me and this brother we worked with a damn clown, man. This is a faith-based book, man. Everything is based upon faith, man.
That's right.
No matter how much research you do, and even if we had the power to go and, Esau had already done it, but go and do excavations and archaeological digs and such things, it's still based upon faith.
Exactly.
It's gonna be based upon faith. So.
Can I get one quick one for you, based on everything you're saying? And it's just a page over in my sword. This is Ephesians 2:8. It says, "For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of the Most High."
Can I say something on that, man? Because like the brother bringing up this point, and like speaking on the nigga we work with, man, but that was just a clear example how Jake try to generalize faith and to make an excuse for basically like you can't follow no truth. instead of just stating what they believe in, because they really don't want to, they're trying to dance around the truth. They'll try to say, well, everything is faith based, so you can't believe in that. So I'm telling a nigga like, well, in that case, we can't believe in shit then. But they'll try to use that as a way to say, well, everybody can have their interpretation all based off of faith, because they can't officially prove it. No, man. The only thing you could truly have faith in is this right here, man. Because it's the only thing that adds up. It lines perfectly with history, and the prophecies are coming to pass and will come to pass 100%, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
So faith and all this other madness is bullshit, man.
Yeah, because there's no truth in it. You know?
Exactly.
Right.
And not to segue off the topic, but like I was saying, Paul was saying, you know, he got the records. I know my genealogy. You know, I'm from the stock of, or I'm a Benjamite of the stock of, what did it say? The stock of Israel, a Hebrew of the Hebrews, of the different Hebrew nations, you know. So, hey, Paul was a bad man. I mean, now if you extrapolate, and if you, I mean, we all love to keep the law perfect. You know what I'm saying? We know we can't, but you know that's what we desire to have the stony heart removed and the heart of flesh given to us. You know.
That's right.
Which is dealing with our mind. You know.
Okay.
So we'll love to have it that way, but imagine if you was groomed in the law from birth. You knew your family lineage. You know
Everything.
what I'm saying? You knew different languages. You was a Roman citizen, even though you knew you was a. So that man had status, man.
Like he could boast if someone had something to so-called boast about. But that shows through the spirit too, like while he was on the road to Damascus, while he was knocked off the high horse, and Yahawashi revealed himself in him. You know what I'm saying? Basically, he got the full understanding of why that everything was established on better promises through Yahawashi, man. Because we couldn't keep the law perfectly, like you can read in Hebrews the 7th and the 8th chapter. You know? But I want to just finish this real quick, and I'm going to get back to it, brother, because I know you want to stay on point.
No, you good.
This is Ephesians 2 and 8. It says, "For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of the Most High. Not of works, lest any man should boast."
Right.
Which Paul, he could have boasted. He was raised under the law. Like, basically, a Pharisee is someone who's a doctor or an expert in the law. You know what I'm saying? It said he came up under the feet of Gamaliel. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't really nothing you could tell Paul pretty much about the law, you know. But in the flesh, man, you can't keep the law perfectly, man.
Right.
That's the understanding that Paul truly got. That's why he came to the conclusion that it was through faith in Yahawashi.
And can you imagine Paul believed that shit? I'm on point. I'm perfect in the law. And come to find out when he got, like his brother went through the account, he got knocked off the horse. He found out that shit. Everything like if. For example, you know, with Paul, if he would have stayed doing what he did, that was all vanity and it meant nothing. Completely nothing, man. Same thing with us, you know, the brothers that believe in this truth, man. No matter what status you come from, and you know, you was the man, you know. Some brothers, you know, knew that they would say their parents taught them that they was Israelites, you know. I've heard that, you know, so you know, you can't bring that into this when you learn the truth, man. You got to start over brand new.
That's right.
Brand new, man.
That's right.
You listen to a lot of brothers, man. The Most High humbled a lot of brothers before they came into the truth, man. To take you away from that status, man. To put you on, let you know that you really ain't shit, man.
That's right.
And a true man of the Lord, really is going to be disgusted. Because I think back on me being in the world, man, and I'm disgusted. That's a scary thought. Those are scary thoughts, man. And I know all brothers feel that way. You know, the true Akim, man, because we was into nothing but vanity. We was on a road to destruction, man.
That's right.
But you can continue, right?
That was it on that, brother. Cause that was the point, man. Because we ain't got nothing to boast of, but in the power and the faith in Yahawashi. Ultimately, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. Because he was the only one that technically kept the law perfectly in the flesh.
Yep.
Yahawashi is the only one that really had something to boast about, and even he didn't even boast.
Yep.
He said, "Why callest thou me good?"
Yeah.
You know,
he spoke on the sins he done in his other incarnations, man.
But that's what Jake like to do. That's really the spirit of Israel, man. Jake, man, you go play basketball with some niggas. Jake gonna brag about his game over the next man. My shot understood me, man. You know, Jake gonna boast about the shit that they do, man. They do it in these, this rap bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So Jake is all about me, what I'm doing. You know, I'm the man. I want to be the top dog. You know what I'm saying? And when you come into this truth, man, it ain't about that. Exactly. You know, it ain't about nothing that you thought you knew. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the understanding of these scriptures and applying them in your life, man.
Kind in the ultimate glorification of Yahawashi and Yahawashi.
Yes, sir. Come.
You want me to go back or?
Yeah, no, you can go ahead and go into 6 and read to 8, and we'll stop at 8, man.
Kind, brother. This is Philippians 3 and 6. It says, concerning zeal, persecuting the church, touching the righteousness which is in the law, blameless.
So he says, I was blamed, but Paul was blameless in the law. You know? Then you read Romans the 7th chapter, he tell you that shit. He couldn't keep the law perfect.
Yeah.
You know, so
it was a struggle.
So Paul is letting you know where he came from. He say, shit, I was on fire persecuting the ones that believe in Yahawashi.
That's right, brother.
You know, thinking that I'm doing the right thing because he done it out of ignorance, you know. And then he said, I'm blameless in the law. And I grew up groomed in the law, keeping the law, fervent for the law, you know.
But he wasn't spiritual though.
Exactly.
That's the key thing, Paul. He wasn't spiritual.
Exactly.
And that's what a lot of guys don't understand when we talk about being faith-based. They don't understand the spiritual aspect of this thing. You know what I'm saying? The Most High is looking for men that are going to be willing to serve him and are going to be dependent on him. Yep. That's why he said if it's of works, you know what I'm saying, we will boast. Like, why would you need a savior?
Right.
Because Yahawashi, his name is a nomen omi. He is the deliverer. Mm-hmm. So if we could keep the law perfectly, if we can boast in it ourselves, what would even be the need of a savior for in the first place?
Because you got pride on this side.
You know what I'm saying?
You really don't want to be saved. You bragging because you got status here.
Right. And there's so many examples that cats that, I ain't going to even call them Israel, man. Just niggas in the world that proclaim to be Israelites that can't shut down that old man. You can't just turn on the camera, you're an Israelite on Saturday or Friday, whenever you go out on the block, you're an Israelite, then in your downtime, you just a complete nigga, man.
Come on, brother.
You know? Eventually you're going to get found out. But go ahead, Ike.
It says, verse 7, it says, but what things were gained to me, those I counted loss for Hamashiach.
So what things was gained for Paul? The position and status that he held, you know, in society at that time, you know, which the law was a big part of, probably the biggest part of it, is that, you know, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. You know, you can't separate the two, Nate, IUIC. We're Hebrew Israelites. That's important. You can't, we just Israelites, forget the Hebrew part. Nah, you know, and he counted. That was the main thing, that I'm a Hebrew Israelite and I'm keeping the law. I'm keeping the law because according to the old covenant, if we would have kept the law, we could receive or be justified and receive the promises that were promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You know, but we can't keep the law perfect. So Paul said, and the same thing applies to us. That's the same mindset you should be in. You know what I'm saying? That you count your life. So your job, your woman, your kids, if that becomes a hindrance to you in this truth, then you have to make a critical decision. You know, do I keep dealing with this and stunt my growth in this truth, or do I just cut it off? You know what I'm saying? And then, hey man, from personal testimony, the Most High will push your hand and make you cut off. You know. That's a good thing, that you know that can let you know that the Most High is dealing with you, man, yeah, and that you want him to remain dealing with you until the very end.
Now I'm saying that's a spirit for on you to be able to recognize that, instead of saying like, "Fuck, I'm catching hell," and all certain things I don't want to have to lose. But the spirit dealing with you, you're gonna say, "Man, it's really a blessing. The Most High put me in a situation to where I'm gonna have to let this go."
Yep. you had certain. I know one brother. I ain't gonna put him out there, but a brother that had his own business, man. You know, and he gave that shit up.
A profitable business.
You know, he gave it up to come and serve Yahawashi. You know.
Hey, the scriptures say that he that loses his life shall find life, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So this thing is bigger than any vain thing that we can try to gain in this carnal world, man. You know?
And I ain't trying to put that out there because you have brothers that might have their own business.
Kind.
And when I'm not saying that, you know, putting out there that, oh, if you got a business, then give up your business and, you know, this brother said go sit in a corner and read the scriptures all day.
You know? Honey and locusts. But no, that's the whole point of the inspiration for the lesson, man, is you got to have proper discernment to know, okay, yeah, it's okay if you got a business, but the particular brother saw that this business that I have is not gonna mix with me pushing this word.
Right.
How am I gonna be speaking righteousness? But my business is it wasn't no illegal shit, but my business is promoting wickedness. Yeah. So I got to get away from this shit to really put my life into this, man. And
have connections, you know what I'm saying? A lot of brothers, man. Y'all niggas don't know, man.
Yeah, had capital connections.
Y'all don't know, man. A lot of brothers, you know, y'all call GMS bums because we don't put the fancy garments on, you know. But brothers, you know, a lot of brothers gave up things and still are pushing off things to serve Yahweh Shem Yahawashi and glorify Yahweh Shem Yahawashi, man.
Hey, that's a beautiful point, man, that you went into because, you know, the scriptures talk about being wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. We know we in Babylon. We know brothers got to, you know, get their daily bread.
Good.
There's balance to this thing, but at the end of the day, it's all about priority. And this truth has to be your main priority. It's okay if a brother got a business, or if a brother has a certain occupation where he's doing it, where it's profitable.
Yeah.
But the scripture says, "Seek ye the kingdom first, and all things shall be added unto you." So you got to put this word in the ministry first, man. And if anything in this world gets in the way to where this truth ain't first, then you got to forsake that.
You got to cut it.
You got to cut it off. You know.
Go ahead and finish out through 8. What's that scripture you had called for? You said you had a scripture in Ecclesiastes, Solomon.
I think
all is vanity.
It's the first chapter, I believe. I'll finish yours and come back to it.
Come back to it.
Kind of. This is back in Philippians 3, and I'll start at 8. It says, "Yea, doubtless, and I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Hamashiach Yahawashi, my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win Hamashiach."
So at the end of the day, man, and this really, you know, applies to the younger brothers in the faith, you know, which I include myself in that. That the world can't mean shit to you, man. You know what I'm saying? Everything in these scriptures, man, has to mean the world to you, man. Like, you know, you first wake up, it's like, I mean, you on fire. You know what I'm saying? You feel on top of the world, man. And that's how, you know, you want to continue to be like that, or to think like that, man. And just know that, man, all this. And I did some, you know, some crazy, you know, the personal testimony. You know, I was like, man, F America, man, you know. Hey, I got at one point, I cut my damn Social Security card up, man. Like, man, fuck America, finna be destroyed. You know, I threw that, you know, slammed, you know, cut up the hole, ripped it up. I don't know if I ripped it up and ripped my damn degree. I got, you know, little bullshit ass college degree. I had I ripped that shit up and said, F it all, man. You know, but that was it on that.
I got the one in Ecclesiastes
too.
I mean, Ecclesiastes, the first and the second chapter is beautiful. It kind of goes hand in hand what we're going into, but I'm going to just start at Ecclesiastes 2, and I'll start at 8. It says, "I gathered me also," this is King Solomon. It says, "I gathered me also silver and gold, and the peculiar treasure of kings and of the provinces. I get me men singers and women singers, and the delight of the sons of men as musical instruments, and that of all sorts. So I was great and increased more than all that were before me in Jerusalem. Also my wisdom remained with me.
So he had wisdom, he had women, gold.
Just riches, just everything,
I
right?
mean, what more could you ask for?
What more could you ask for?
A lot more, man. You know, the kingdom with a whole nation is not going off. You know, glorifying the name Yahweh and yet why Yahawashi and keeping the laws perfect. Then, you know, that's gonna be the beautiful thing that we'll never go off again, man.
Man.
And that's but go ahead, all right.
Verse 10, it says, and whatsoever mine eyes desired, I kept not from them. I withheld not my heart.
Hey, read that again.
Ooh, that's cold, bro.
So whatever you see, you want it, you got it.
You got it.
You know?
It said, this is Ecclesiastes 2 and 10. It says, and whatsoever mine eyes desired, I kept not from them. I withheld not my heart from any joy.
My mind, his mind. You know, if he wanted to dabble into enjoyment, he did it. You know,
he was a man. And it says, I withheld not my heart from any joy, for my heart rejoiced in all my labor, and this was my portion of all my labor. Then I looked on all the works that my hands had wrought, and on the labor that I had labored to do, and behold, all was vanity and vexation of spirit, and there was no profit under the sun. And ultimately, the reason he felt that way is because he knew he was not in the presence of the Most High. He was not in the kingdom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the same way brothers feel. Even though certain brothers who may have opportunity and access to connections in this world to enjoy certain pleasures, man, if you're a spiritual man of understanding, you know that it's all vanity, man, because ultimately this shit's going to be destroyed at the end of the day, man.
Right.
And we're in a wicked empire, man.
Right.
That's being controlled by wicked rulership, man.
That's right.
So we our spirits yearning for something far more greater, far more righteous than our imagination and our spirit can ever imagine, man. You know?
Because we're going to get a reward.
That's right.
Storing up your treasures in heaven, you know, we going to be rewarded if we are, you know, the men of the elect, you know. We gonna be rewarded. So giving up this shit on this side is nothing, man.
That's right.
It's nothing at all.
Correct.
Y'all brothers got something?
That was all I had.
Yeah,
bro.
just real quick. This is Matthew chapter 4, and I'm going to start at 17. From that time, Yahawashi began to preach and say, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And I want to start at 17 because brothers know, man, about being the scripture where speak on being the fishers of men, but the Lord was letting them at that time, and we even closer to at that time now, to repent because the kingdom of heaven is at hand. So the men that really believe that, that's why they motivated and have